I'm telling you, absolutely no case, no money ever exchanged, never got billed, no retainer.
If you all knew what we know about him, he's the most generous person. He
He is.
pays for lunch and dinners for his entire staff on radio and TV every single day.
Sean Hannity has always been a private man, keeping his personal life away from the spotlight despite decades in the media. But now, at 63, he's finally opening up about the love that has changed his life. After years of speculation, rumors, and quiet whispers behind the scenes, Hannity is making it official.
Romance has been brewing over at Fox News, or at least that's what recent rumors would have us believe.
And his emotional confession has left fans stunned. What made him finally break his silence after all these years? And what does this mean for his career? Join us as we look into the love story that has everyone talking. The man behind the mic. For years, Sean Hannity has been the one asking the tough questions, breaking down political drama, and steering conversations that shape America's conservative landscape. As the host of The Sean Hannity Show and a longtime Fox News anchor, he has spent decades talking about the most influential figures in politics. Now the situation has switched, and the discussion today centers entirely on him rather than political matters. Hannity revealed his innermost thoughts by showing viewers a personal view of his life through his feelings about certain essential aspects of his life. Hannity followed an unusual path toward achieving his position as a media leader.
The media went absolutely insane. Wall to wall, hour by hour coverage of yours truly.
Prior to his position as a prominent political media figure, he worked as a general contractor who operated in a field completely separate from television spotlight. Hannity started his broadcasting career in 1989 by hosting a talk show at UC Santa Barbara as a volunteer. His initial modest radio hosting experience at WVNN in Alabama and WGST in Atlanta ignited his passion, which led him to a series of radio stations. The turning point in his career arrived when he became part of the WABC New York team until 2013, then shifted to WOR. In 1996, Sean Hannity landed the co-hosting position at Hannity and Colmes, which aired on Fox News as he engaged in political debates with Alan Colmes. The departure of Colmes in 2009 resulted in the renaming of the show into Hannity, which provided Hannity with complete control over the program's content. With his sharp political commentary and unwavering stance, he quickly became one of the most influential conservative voices in America. He has never pretended to be a journalist. He has openly stated that he is an opinion host, not a reporter. Critics describe him as a propagandist because he had backed numerous controversial statements, including doubting Barack Obama's American citizenship and claims about voter fraud during the 2020 election. His impact remains undeniable.
Tonight, former President Barack Obama says President Trump's unfounded claims of election fraud may be putting American democracy at risk,
regardless of whether people respect or condemn his actions. His strong bond with Donald Trump made him more than a media personality. Some people began to call him Trump's shadow chief of staff. It was reported that he had direct access to the White House and regularly advised Trump during his presidency. But behind the headlines and political debates, there's another side to Hannity, one that rarely makes it to television screens. While he has spent his career discussing the lives of others, he has always kept his own life private. However, at 63, there's a shift. The man who has built his career on telling other people's stories is now sharing his own. Hannity's name has been linked to high-profile controversies, including the Dominion voting systems versus Fox News defamation case, which resulted in a massive $787,500,000 settlement. His show continues to be one of the most popular in cable news and is among the top listened-to shows on the radio, despite facing intense criticism. His television work has earned him multiple awards, including the National Association of Broadcasters and an honorary degree from Liberty University. He has also authored multiple New York Times bestsellers, including Let Freedom Ring, Deliver Us from Evil, and conservative victory. Now, as he opens up about the love of his life and what truly matters at this stage, it's a side of Sean Hannity the public hasn't seen before. This isn't about politics. It's not about the latest election scandal. It's about him, his emotions, and the things that have shaped him beyond the newsroom. For a man who has always been the one analyzing others, the focus is now on him. And this time, he's the one telling the story. What was this media powerhouse childhood like? From a small-town paperboy to a media powerhouse, Sean Hannity was born in New York City, but he spent most of his childhood in Franklin Square, Long Island. He was the youngest of 4 children and the only boy growing up in a working-class Irish-American family. His parents, Lillian and Hugh Hannity, both had demanding jobs. His mother worked as a stenographer and later as a corrections officer at a county jail, while his father, a World War II veteran, served as a family court officer. Hannity's grandparents all immigrated to the United States from Ireland, bringing strong values of hard work and perseverance. Though politics was not a dominant topic in their household, his parents initially supported President John F. Kennedy before gradually becoming more conservative over time. Like many kids in his neighborhood, Hannity took on small jobs to earn money. One of his first gigs was delivering newspapers for the New York Daily News and the Long Island Daily Press. While his future would be in broadcasting, his early years didn't exactly hint at a media career. He attended Sacred Heart Seminary in Hempstead and later St. Pius II Preparatory Seminary in Uniondale. He also enrolled at New York University and Adelphi University, but never completed his degree there. By 1982, Hannity had started a house painting business, showing an early entrepreneurial streak. A few years later, he moved to Santa Barbara, California, where he worked as a building contractor. It was there, in 1989, that he got his first taste of radio. While still working construction, he volunteered at UC Santa Barbara's college station, KCSB-FM, hosting his first ever talk show. He was given 40 hours of airtime, but later admitted that he didn't think he was very good at it initially. That first step into broadcasting, however rough, sparked something in him. It wasn't long before he turned that shaky start into a career that would make him one of the most influential conservative voices in America.
And you know why I went so deep in this election for President Trump is because, and nobody would listen to me, Ted, and you'll probably cut this out too.
How did he slowly make his way into the limelight to become one of the biggest media personalities of today? Sean Hannity's rise to fame. Sean Hannity's journey in broadcasting has been anything but smooth. Before becoming one of the most recognizable conservative voices in media, he faced his fair share of challenges, starting with an early controversy that cut short his time at a college radio station. In the late 1980s, while working as a building contractor in Santa Barbara, California, Hannity landed a weekly show at KCSB, a volunteer-run college radio station at UC Santa Barbara. However, less than a year into the job, the station canceled his show due to heated discussions on gay and lesbian rights that some found too controversial. The decision sparked debate, with the local chapter of the American Civil Liberties Union, ACLU, stepping in to argue that removing Hannity violated his First Amendment rights. Eventually, the university board overseeing the station reversed the decision, but when KCSB refused to issue a public apology or restore his airtime, Hannity chose not to return. Rather than let the experience slow him down, Hannity used it as a stepping stone. He placed an ad in radio industry publications, branding himself as the most talked-about college radio host in America. His bold approach paid off when WVNN, a radio station in Athens, Alabama, hired him as an afternoon talk show host. This move marked the start of his professional broadcasting career. By 1992, Hannity had moved up to WGST in Atlanta, taking over a time slot previously held by radio host Neil Boortz.
After more than 4 decades behind the mic, WSB radio host Neil Bortz.
4 years later, his career took a major leap when Fox News co-founder Roger Ailes spotted his potential. Ailes hired Hannity to host a new television program under the working title Hannity and Liberal, To Be Determined, LTBD. Soon after, Alan Colmes joined as the Liberal counterpart, and the show launched as Hannity and Colmes. Around the same time, Hannity's radio career continued to grow. In late 1996, he left WGST for WABC in New York. Initially, he filled in for the afternoon drive time host during Christmas week. By January 1997, WABC offered him a full-time late-night slot, and by 1998, he was back in the afternoon slot, a position he held for over a decade. His influence in conservative talk radio kept expanding, and in 2001, The Sean Hannity Show went into national syndication, reaching more than 500 stations across the country. As his audience grew, so did the demand for his voice. In 2004, Hannity secured a $25 million contract extension with ABC Radio, now Citadel Media, keeping him on the air through 2009. By 2006, his program was even broadcast on the Armed Forces Radio Network, bringing his opinions to military listeners worldwide. 2 years later, he signed another massive deal, this time a $100 million 5-year contract, solidifying his status as one of the biggest names in talk radio. Over the years, Hannity's reach extended beyond radio and television. His show was regularly ranked among the most listened to in America, with Talkers magazine listing him as the second most influential talk show host in 2017. In 2013, Forbes included him in their Celebrity 100 list, further proving his dominance in the media landscape. His radio presence remained strong as well. After years at WABC, he transitioned to WOR in New York in 2014, where he continued hosting his popular afternoon program. Hannity's television career also evolved. Hannity and Colmes had been a defining show on Fox News for over a decade, with Hannity representing conservative viewpoints and Colmes taking the liberal stance. However, in late 2008, Colmes announced he was leaving the show.
One of the biggest news stories of today, I believe, in my opinion, is Alan Colmes is leaving Hannity and Colmes.
By early 2009, Hannity took over the time slot entirely, launching his solo program Hannity, which followed a similar format to his earlier Sunday night show, Hannity's America. Though firmly positioned as a conservative commentator, Hannity has occasionally surprised audiences with his views. While he has remained outspoken on many political and social issues, he has expressed support for birth control, which led to some tense debates with pro-life guests on his show. At one point, he even stated that if the Catholic Church were to excommunicate him over his stance on contraception, he would consider joining Jerry Falwell's Thomas Road Baptist Church instead. Through all the controversies, shifts, and challenges, one thing has remained constant: Hannity's ability to command an audience. Whether loved or criticized, Sean Hannity has built a media empire that continues to shape political conversations across the country. What role did his career play in his relationships outside of work? A love story that started with a newspaper column. Before Sean Hannity became a well-known conservative voice on national television, he was just a college dropout from Long Island, New York, trying to build a career in radio. In 1991, while working at WVNN in Huntsville, Alabama, his first major radio job, he crossed paths with Jill Rhodes, a political columnist for the Huntsville Times. Their love story began in an unexpected way. Hannity later shared that what first caught his attention wasn't just her writing, it was the small picture of her that accompanied her column. In a 2011 interview with Newsmax, he mentioned that she was incredibly talented, but admitted that he had first fallen for the image of her in the newspaper. Their early relationship was a mix of professional exchanges and personal curiosity. Speaking to People in 2002, the couple reminisced about how Hannity would regularly call Rhodes, seeking ideas for his show. She was intrigued by the many voicemail messages he left, and eventually she decided to attend a mayoral debate he had organized in 1992. Looking back on that night, she told People that as soon as she saw him in person, she knew she was going to marry him. That same year, Hannity got an opportunity to host a talk radio show in Atlanta. He wanted Rhodes to move with him, but she made it clear that if she was going to relocate, there needed to be a ring involved. Hannity later recalled that her colleagues at the newspaper strongly advised against the relationship. They questioned why she would want to marry that guy from the radio, since he was a bold, outspoken New Yorker in the middle of Alabama. Even their pastor wasn't convinced they were a good match. During premarital counseling, Hannity got into a heated discussion with the pastor about the church's political stance. He later recalled that the pastor told Rhodes she was crazy to be marrying him, which left her in tears. Despite the concerns from others, the couple pushed forward, tying the knot in 1993. Ironically, the same pastor who had doubts about their marriage ended up officiating weddings for many of their friends. Years later, Hannity joked that out of all those couples, he and Rhodes were the only ones still together after 18 years. Throughout their marriage, Rhodes stayed out of the public eye. Unlike many high-profile spouses, she was rarely seen at Fox News events alongside Hannity. She also never developed a public presence on Instagram or Twitter, and there were few, if any, public photos of the family. Hannity himself also kept his personal life off social media, choosing not to share family updates with his followers. Despite their private nature, Hannity made it clear how much his wife and children meant to him. In 2002, when he released his first book, Let Freedom Ring, Winning the War of Liberty Over Liberalism.
All right, in just 2 hours, 1 minute, I've been telling you, my book, Live Free or Die, America and the World on the Brink, is finally out.
He dedicated it to Rhodes and their kids. In the acknowledgments, he expressed gratitude for their support, acknowledging the sacrifices they made due to his long work hours. He described them as the ones who made his life meaningful and complete, adding that he felt truly blessed to have them. But could a love story that began with such certainty withstand the weight of time, distance, and unspoken struggles? An end to a lifelong commitment. After spending more than 2 decades as husband and wife, Sean Hannity and Jill Rhodes have officially gone their separate ways. Although their divorce was finalized over a year ago, the couple had actually been living apart for several years before making it official. The news anchor Hannity and his ex-wife Rhodes have 2 children, Sean Patrick and Mary Kelly. The close friends of the former couple confirmed their divorce was anything but messy. They remain deeply involved in their children's lives and have worked hard to ensure that their family dynamic remains as stable as possible. In a statement released, Hannity and Rhodes emphasized that their priority has always been their kids. The couple stated they had established a friendly arrangement 4 years ago and planned to maintain joint custody. The couple maintains a solid parental bond despite their marital breakup. The statement concluded with a request for privacy, stating that neither of them would be making further comments on the matter. They hoped that, for the sake of their children, people would respect their decision to keep personal details out of the spotlight. But was Sean Hannity's love story truly over, or was it simply turning a new page? From a secret romance to wedding bells. For years, rumors swirled about Fox News hosts Sean Hannity and Ainsley Earhardt being more than just colleagues. Though they never publicly confirmed their relationship, those close to them knew they were quietly dating. Now, after keeping their romance private for so long, they have finally made it official. On December 26, 2024, the couple announced their engagement, expressing gratitude to their families for their love and support during such a special time in their lives. The first whispers of their relationship began in 2020 when a source told People that Hannity and Earhart had been seeing each other in secret for a while. Sources within his social circle confirmed that Hannity's relationship with his partner began much earlier than their public announcement. The source, who knew about their relationship, confirmed that Hannity kept his personal life strictly private because of his well-known status and constant media scrutiny. Still, many of their colleagues at Fox News were aware of their bond, and it was no secret that they spent a lot of time together. They were often spotted acting affectionately outside of work, whether getting close in a bar or sharing flirty moments when they thought no one was watching. During the COVID-19 pandemic, Earhart reportedly rented a home near Hannity, and sources claimed she frequently broadcasted her segments from his home studio. A person close to the couple explained that their relationship had been going on for years, not just months, and that they were almost inseparable, even if they made sure to keep things low-key in public. Both Hannity and Earhart had been married before. Hannity was married to Jill Rhodes for more than 20 years before they finalized their divorce in 2019. Earhart's marriage to Will Proctor also ended in 2019 after 7 years. In an interview with People a year later, Earhart spoke openly about the idea of remarrying. She admitted she wanted to find love again and hoped to be in a loving relationship, not just for herself, but also for her daughter Hayden, so she could see what a happy, healthy partnership looked like. Their careers at Fox News had been closely linked for years. Earhart first joined the network in 2007, starting on early morning and weekend shows before landing a major promotion in 2016. She stepped in to replace Elizabeth Hasselbeck on Fox and Friends, a move that she described as one of the best moments of her life. At the time, she shared that things only seemed to be getting better for her. Looking back on her journey in 2019, she admitted she was still amazed that she had made it this far, achieving her childhood dream of working in New York City. She added that some of the biggest moments in her life had happened while she was at Fox News. Hannity and Earhart's personal and professional lives had often overlapped. In 2019, Hannity appeared as a guest on Earhart's show, Ainsley's Bible Study, where she discussed faith, family, and personal challenges with guests. During the segment, Hannity opened up about how his faith had grown stronger with age. Earhart praised him for his honesty, noting that people respected him for admitting his imperfections and expressing his need for God in his life. Despite their efforts to keep their relationship private, they were seen together multiple times over the years. In 2019, they attended the wedding of Fox News colleagues Pete Hegseth and Jennifer Rauquette. Rather than arriving separately, they made a grand entrance together, flying in on Hannity's private helicopter. According to a source, this wasn't a one-time thing. Hannity had reportedly taken Earhart on helicopter trips for vacations more than once. In the years that followed, more public sightings fueled speculation. In 2022, the Daily Mail published photos of them at the Long Island Oyster Fest, where they were seen smiling and holding corn on the cob. Then, in early 2023, another picture surfaced of them sitting together at a Waffle House in South Carolina. Even during on-air segments, there were moments where Earhart appeared to hint at their relationship. In October 2021, when Fox News was celebrating its 25th anniversary, Hannity joined Fox and Friends for a special segment.
My name is Sean Hannity, and I've been at Fox from day one, October 1996. My first love was radio. I never imagined myself being on TV, and it was certainly a learning curve for me.
At one point, co-host Brian Kilmeade jokingly asked him if he had a favorite Fox and Friends host. Before Hannity could answer, Earhart jumped in, teasing that she already knew his answer. Trying to play it safe, Hannity replied that it was a tough choice between Steve Doocy and Ainsley. Later in the segment, Earhart took a moment to compliment Hannity, calling him one of the most generous people she knew and crediting him for helping so many of their colleagues succeed. Hannity, in his usual fashion, downplayed the praise but thanked her for the kind words. After years of keeping their relationship out of the public eye, Hannity was finally ready to take the next step. Over Christmas week in December 2024, he proposed to Earhart at a church in Florida. For them, it was the perfect location, as their shared faith had always been a major part of their bond. Before announcing their engagement, the couple made sure to inform their ex-spouses in advance. They also shared that their children had been incredibly supportive of their decision. Hannity has 2 children, Patrick and Mary, from his marriage to Rhodes, while Earhart has a daughter, Hayden, from her marriage to Proctor. Although they live in different states, Hannity in Florida and Earhart in New York, they had been making their long-distance relationship work for a while. What do you think about Sean Hannity's big confession? How has his confession affected his family? Share your thoughts with us in the comments section. Remember to like, share, and subscribe for more. Also, click the next video showing on your screen. You will enjoy it.